it a certain way and you do it your way and you mess up, I don't want to clean it up because that was your fuck up, not mine.
I was feeling that Jake Paul was going to knock out. This press conference made me feel a little bit more confident about it. I'm no cap.
He done a lot in his career, right? Not everything, but he done a lot. What people don't understand is his business is a lot.
Floyd Mayweather shared his thoughts on the upcoming Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight, saying Davis is making his own choices and taking a big risk with his career. He revealed that he's offered Davis advice before, but if it's ignored, it's out of his hands. Still, Floyd believes the matchup is great for boxing, brings in serious money, and promises he'll definitely be tuning in to watch the showdown unfold.
Within my company, within my team, do it my way. Because if you mess up, I don't mind being a janitor to clean up the mess because I told you to do it a certain way. But if I tell you to do it a certain way and you do it your way and you mess up, I don't want to clean it up because that was your fuck up, not mine.
The boxing world is in a frenzy over the highly anticipated clash between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Jake Paul. Fans and analysts are sharply divided, some calling it a pure marketing stunt, while others see it as a bold move for Tank to expand his fame beyond traditional boxing fans. Heated debates dominate social media, with insiders weighing in from every angle. Some defend Davis's decision as strategic and modern, while others argue it risks the sport's integrity and turns boxing into pure entertainment.
And number 3 to retire.
I mean, the backlash is just what people do nowadays. That's just, you give somebody a keyboard, give them a phone, and they're able to hide their face, yeah, they're gonna have a field day. The backlash I get, I understand. Would you say number 2, not fight Shakur?
Yeah, saying he'll never fight Shakur. That he ain't gonna do him no favors. That he ain't gonna help him make no money because Shakur broke or something like that. Something along those lines.
Yeah, I don't get all that. That's, you know what I mean? That's against the game. Like, you know what I mean? You at least owe that fight for the game. You know what I mean? You owe the rematch to Lamont for the game. But you owe Shakur for the game just because of the 2 style matchups. You know what I mean? But if he feel like he don't got to fight him, guess what? We can't sit here and just go crazy about it. But it is kind of crazy.
Trainer Greg Hackett voiced his frustration over the backlash surrounding Gervonta Davis, arguing that modern fans criticize fighters for nearly everything without understanding their personal circumstances. He emphasized that if Davis decides to fight Jake Paul, that choice deserves respect. According to Hackett, people outside the ring have no idea what a boxer endures or what drives their career moves. He believes fans should stop dictating opponents and instead appreciate the relentless dedication, sacrifice, and discipline it takes to stay at an elite level. Hackett's remarks highlight a deeper frustration shared by many trainers and athletes who feel that social media has turned boxing discourse into a noisy spectacle, one where genuine hard work is overshadowed by endless online criticism and opinions disconnected from the sport's true grind.
He done a lot in his career, right? Not everything, but he done a lot. What people don't understand is his business is a lot. This whole experience is a lot. The shit these fighters go through is hard to explain. It's hard to explain because people, they can't see it, so they can't understand it. But it's stressful to the fighters because they coming from just getting ready to fight in the amateurs, being prepared, going out there, win, get it done, celebrate, all right, we back to the next camp. To now, marketing, talking about marketing, you're talking about lawyers, you're talking about all this shit that you just never imagined. You're like, why do I have to deal with all of this shit? People trying to keep money coming in, so they trying to come up with bright ideas. At the same time, you got a lot of people trying to get from you.
Sports analyst Max Kellerman has become the center of heated debate in the boxing community due to his controversial commentary, which has drawn significant criticism from fans and fellow analysts. Many accuse him of showing a strong bias, particularly against Gervonta "Tank" Davis, often dismissing his accomplishments and downplaying his status in the sport. In several of his recent appearances, Kellerman suggested that Davis had never truly been a legitimate champion in his weight class and had not achieved anything especially notable. These remarks sparked backlash, with critics pointing out that Davis's impressive record, devastating knockout power, and consistent performances speak volumes about his talent. Many argue that Kellerman's perspective reflects a broader issue within boxing media, where younger stars are undervalued while spectacle-driven narratives are overhyped. This controversy underscores how perception, favoritism, and media bias continue to shape public judgment of fighters.
Because Max Kellerman is full of nonsense. Max Kellerman claims that Gervonta Davis was never a champion, that we've never been a period of time when we looked at Gervonta Davis and said Gervonta Davis is the man in that weight class. Bunch of other ridiculousness pouring out of the pie hole of Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman is one of the most biased, bought and paid for journalists that there is in the sport of boxing, and to have him back talking again on and giving his opinion again about the sport of boxing, I promise you, is not a good thing. But let's analyze what he had to say about Gervonta. That Gervonta was not ever a champion. That is ridiculous because Gervonta Davis was a champion for the IBF at 130. He was a WBA super champion at 130. He is currently the reigning WBA champion at 135. And there is no other champion in the division for the WBA at the moment. He is the only WBA champion that there is at 135. He had a portion of a secondary. The title at the time he won it at 140 was a secondary title. So if you do not want to count that, I don't know why you wouldn't, seeing as everybody else counts that belt. But okay, fine. He's a 2-division world champion. That is more than zero, Max Kellerman. Now, looking at the idea that Gervonta Davis has never been the man in that division is absolutely ridiculous because Gervonta Davis has really been the man in that division the entire time that he's there.
Former world champion Paulie Malignaggi has never held back when it comes to sharing his opinions, and the upcoming Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul fight is no exception. Malignaggi openly criticized the matchup, arguing that such bouts threaten the authenticity of boxing. He emphasized that knockouts only hold significance when they occur between evenly matched, legitimate opponents. According to him, manufactured fights dilute the sport and mislead casual fans into believing they are witnessing true competition. In a conversation with fellow analyst Chris Algerai, Malignaggi made it clear that while the event may entertain casual viewers, serious followers of boxing can see through the spectacle. He stressed that allowing social media-driven fighters to compete alongside world-class athletes blurs the lines of what professional boxing represents. His remarks highlight a growing tension in the sport between genuine skill and showmanship, raising questions about how boxing can maintain its integrity in an era dominated by entertainment and hype.
Knockouts, dude. Knockouts. People like knockouts. They don't care if you're knocking out cab drivers. Look at Jake Paul's career.
You can manufacture that, though. You can manufacture that, though. You can manufacture
knockouts. You can't manufacture.
To a degree, you can. To a degree. I mean, Gervonta legitimately cannot get knockouts. I agree. He can punch, but there's a lot of limited knockout artists, though, man.
He's one of the least active punchers in the game with the highest knockout percentage of current heavyweights.
But if he was a real knockout artist,
current champions.
If he was a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best of the best. Felix Trinidad was a knockout artist. He was knocking out the best of the best. If you're a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best and show us how he smokes them. But the way we did when Felix Trinidad was doing it. You know, the way
Felix Trinidad was
doing it in his prime. Okay, say what you want about the Mike Tyson. He knocked out everyone from 1986 to 1989. Everyone got knocked out. Everyone.
Well, by your standard, you could say that Tyson was to a degree manufactured.
No, because everyone was there. Everyone that was there.
Teddy Alex will 100% agree with this.
With the expense of Witherspoon.
We're afraid of
with the exception of Witherspoon. No, but they all, doesn't matter. He knocked them all out. There was nobody you could say in that era except maybe Witherspoon, who had contract issues with King at the time. Except for Witherspoon, there is nobody Tyson didn't fight in that era. He knocked them all out. can't say like, oh, but if he would have fought that guy, I don't know. No, with Davis, there's guys right now that have been hanging around for years. Yo, dude, when you gonna fight them? The lightweight division was stuffed with talent. Even at 130, it had a lot of talent when he was there. Didn't fight almost any of them. So it's not the same thing as the Tyson era. You want to say anything about Tyson era? Fine. It wasn't as high level or something. He still knocked out everyone.
After watching the press conference between Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul, boxing commentator Showbiz The Adult shared an optimistic take, saying he now feels more confident in Tank's chances. Initially worried about Davis's size disadvantage, he was impressed by Tank's composure, focus, and calm under pressure, noting that the young champion carried himself like a true professional. Showbiz highlighted that Davis's technical mastery, fight IQ, and ability to adapt could overcome any physical differences, making the matchup far more competitive than skeptics expect. Observers also point to Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s rumored exhibition fight with Mike Tyson, interpreting it as a strategic move to maintain relevance and headline attention, showing how legacy, competition, and publicity play into modern boxing dynamics. Former heavyweight contender Eddie Chambers echoed this sentiment, reminding fans that size isn't everything and emphasizing Davis's skill, speed, and ring intelligence. Timothy Bradley added that Davis's experience against elite opponents gives him a clear advantage over Jake Paul, predicting a disciplined, dominant performance if Tank avoids underestimating his foe. Despite the spectacle and social media hype, insiders insist Davis is taking the fight seriously, viewing it as an opportunity to expand his audience and control the narrative. While critics decry the event as a circus, Davis's preparation, focus, and discipline demonstrate a fighter balancing commercial success with genuine competition. For purists, the matchup may seem unsettling, but for marketers, it's a masterstroke, capturing global attention and redefining boxing's evolution. Whether you love it or hate it, this fight symbolizes the collision of traditional athletic excellence with modern celebrity influence. Don't miss a moment of this historic showdown. Subscribe, share, and like to stay updated with every knockout, insight, and exclusive behind-the-scenes analysis.